Welcome everyone. We're going to start. We're going to start by standing up. Welcome to Ageless Balance. I am Ron. We are going to do some of this, and this is not really aerobic. This is more warming up. So just little marches. You can do whatever you want with the arms, but I really recommend that you move the arms. You can flap them, you can do whatever you want, but it's just a lot of people don't do that arm-leg thing, and it's really important for your balance, for endurance. The more you use your arms, the longer you can walk, because they help move you. I'm going downhill fast, and it's only been 1 minute. I'm in trouble. All right, what are we going to do? We're going to do a forward toe tap, so it's out and out. All right, so what you're doing here, pick up the foot, tap the toe, bring it back in. This isn't going forward in a forward lunge. This is just a tap while you balance over that back leg. Right on top. Notice the little shift in weight right over that stationary leg. That is your base of support. You want to be right over the middle of it. Up and up. If you need a chair for this, please use one. Always, always, always. If you don't feel safe, then you should use a chair. And get the muscles warmed up, strengthened up before you start doing it without the chair, without the aid. Out and out. We're going to do a side toe tap like this. Out to the side. I can feel my quadriceps working already. Now we're working the outside of the hips. Out. That toe tap forward did two things. We were working the hip flexors, quadriceps. This is working the abductors on the side of the hips. Out and out. Out. And we're going to go back now. Tap it back. Toe only as you bring that leg behind you. Control the movement as slow as you need to go. Not fast. If you go too fast, there's nothing to balancing. Back and back. But it also puts you at a real risk for falling when you start using momentum to do all the work for you. Lift the foot. Tap the toe. Working those muscles in the back of the lower leg. Calf muscles. Step. Step. And we're not done with this yet. We're going to go up and tap at a diagonal. Foot up. Rotate. Tap. And in. Again, take your time on this one. Really want you to concentrate on getting over that stationary leg, picking the other foot up, rotating within the hip socket and back, up and out. So you don't want to turn the body. That's just cheating. You want to bring it up and tap, up. Keep yourself pointed forward. If something happens where you start tripping to the side, this will help that because your whole body is still forward instead of turning and following that leg out. You want to be right here over the middle where your base is. Your base of support. Over, up and over. Tap. It becomes natural after a while. That turn becomes much easier. Out and out. Once those hips get opened up, unlocked. Okay, we're going to do the same thing but backwards. Tap it or diagonal, up and around. Around. So you're picking that foot up, coming out at a diagonal, tapping, and bringing it back in. So we're doing a clock here because we're going to do more with this one. This is just the warm-up. Around and around. We want to get these muscles warmed up, lower body, because we are going to work them. All of the walking, mobility, stability muscles so you can stand, tap and tap, rotate, other toe. Again, control, control, control. You want to be in control of those muscles all the way. You tell them what they're going to do. They don't tell you where they're going to go. And tap, tap, and tap. All right. So we're going to do a clock. We're going to start out with 12 o'clock right out front. Left leg for you. Tap out and bring it back in. Out to the side. Out and back, straight back to 6 o'clock, and in, back out to 3, and up to 12. That whole time, you're balancing on that single leg. Let's try it again just a little bit quicker. We're going to go out, tap it, bring it in, out to the side, and in. Find your balance before you move again. and up, out, and to the front. Let's go to the other side, same thing. 12 o'clock and back. Out this way, 3 or 9, I don't know. Back. I don't know. When the camera mirrors, I'm not sure what clock time that is. Back. And I mean, I can tell time with a clock. Don't get me wrong. Step with an analog one. Out and in, step back to the side and up front. Stationary leg should be the tired leg. You should feel it all the way through the hip. Hip flexor holding you right over the middle. Core is involved with keeping the torso straight over that line. That's why we work the core. That's why we do that. All right, we're going to go all the way around. So around the clock, 12 and back that way, and 6 o'clock. 6 is easy. Now taking the other leg, step back and up, out to the side and to the front and back. So let's go back around the opposite direction, starting with the right leg. 12 o'clock in, 9 o'clock and back. 6 with the other leg, right straight back, out to the side and up and back in. This is all about working the muscles all the way through the legs. All right, so now what we're going to do is throw in those other ones, those in between, those diagonal ones. So we're going to come up at a 12 and bring it back. Up and out to a 2 o'clock and back in, out to the side, 3. And in, back, 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, and step right straight back. And up, other foot, straight back to 6. We're going to go out to 7 at a diagonal, bring it back in without turning the hips, out to the side, around, and up. Excuse me, we're going to go back. So these are brain exercises too. 12 o'clock, right there. That time, 10 o'clock, yes. And back, I can tell time. Truly I can, trust me. Step back, 6 o'clock, other leg. And bring it in to the side, roll it in, out, and finish with the toe tap, bring it back. I love that exercise. I really, really like that exercise. We're going to make it a little different. So we're going to do it again, but we're not going to come back to the middle this time. So stepping out to 12 o'clock, right straight out front. From here, pick the foot up, rotate the hip, tap out at 2 o'clock, up, and 3, come around and get that 4 o'clock, and then right straight back. Oops. Got off balance there. We're going to go to the other foot, straight back to 6. Now just lifting the leg up, coming around to the side, tap the toe, pick it up, out to the side, up diagonally, and to 12 o'clock, and back again. So what I like to do on these is call out times and say, 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock left, 9 o'clock left, like that. But I'm not going to. It's too hard. Grab a drink of water. Please drink water. So first thing we're going to do is a sit to stand. So we warmed up the lower body for a reason. And that reason is because we're going to do some strength exercises with them. No weights, just contracting the muscles. So remember, anytime you do these exercises, you take, I tell you which muscles you're going to be using, and then focus on those muscles, tighten them up, contract them, make them nice and tight, just like you're showing your guns, you know, that kind of thing. Just nice and tight as you make the move. So the first one's a sit to stand. This one's so important. This one is so important and involves all the muscles we need for the lower body. First thing you do is you back up to your chair, right there. Back of the legs, touch the front of the chair. Hands on the thighs, shoulder blades are back. We're going to come down, pushing the butt back. Small squat. We're not going to sit down yet. Don't sit down. Back, and then push through the heels, coming back up. It's a hip hinge. Butt back. It's all about that butt back. And come forward again. As you come forward, keep the chair on the back of the lower legs. What you're doing here is making all the big muscles work. The hamstrings, the glutes, the quadriceps, and come back up again. This is how you should do a hip hinge whenever we do them. Down. Legs stay right where they are. All the work happens in the hips. Go down a little farther this time. And now the knees come forward over the laces of the shoes. And down you go, nice and easy. See? Okay, hands on the thighs. We're going to go back up again. Work your butt out to the edge of the chair. Walk it out, walk it out. Heels behind the knees. This is a momentum movement. We're going to lean forward into that hip hinge. Going forward. As we do, we're going to push through the back of the legs, through the calf muscles, in the quadriceps. So it's lean forward, shoulder blades are back, hands on the thighs if you need to, and push from the ball of the foot to the heel, bringing that hip out and standing. Outstanding. Step back to the chair. Butt right straight back. I take you to the chair so you can feel it in the back of your legs so you don't miss the chair. You know it's there. You don't have to worry about it. Back out again. A couple more times. Heels behind. Make it a little easier. This hands on the thighs. From there, the next step is arms forward. It helps you with that momentum forward, but you can't use the arms to push yourself up. If you need them, use them. Otherwise, all the work is done through the legs. Push and up. And then bring the arms down. Back up to the chair. Back it up. Back it up. Beep, beep, beep. And here, put the hands on the thighs. Step butt back and down. So what you want to make sure of is you do not feel weight in the toes. If you feel weight in the toes, that's going to go right up the front of the leg into the knee. And then you're going to have this pain right in the middle of your knee if you're not doing it correctly. Okay, walk it out. So the next step, arms out, gave us momentum forward. We're going to get rid of that momentum. If you can do this, if not, go back to the one that works for you. Hands on the chest. Feet, knees behind. Nope, knees in front of the ankles. You're going to lean forward again, chest back, shoulder blades back, and push up. Ball the foot to the heel as you step, as you rise up. Step back to the chair, and the opposite way. Down nice and slow. Feel the weight transfer to the back of the foot, and sit it down nice and easy. So a couple things that doing that right will help you with. One is I watch people, they push on like a table in front of them, and I watch that table shake. There's no stability there. Plus, those people who do that are usually way out in front, all the weight's forward, just asking to fall forward. The other thing is if you have osteoporosis in the spine, if you come down hard in that drop and at an angle, twisted, and hit the chair and kind of wobble around, terrible for the back. You want to make sure that you're coming down nice and easy so that you don't have that sudden jarring on the bones. Don't want that. You don't want that. All right. Next, what are we doing? Leg extensions. Shoulder blades are back, chest is out. Let's find neutral position. Ears over shoulders, over hips. As always. Hand behind the thigh. Lift it up. Extend. In and down. So what you're doing here, hand behind the thigh, shoulder blades are back, chest is out. Grab underneath that leg and kind of lean back just a little bit, out and back down again. You're making sure that your posture is good as you go back, keeping the shoulder blades back and down. Other side. That's why I did that. Up, out. Doesn't have to come very high. You're going to feel a stretch in those hamstrings because we haven't stretched those out a lot yet. So this is working on that. Again, underneath, shoulder blades are back. Hinge at the hip, foot out, in, and down. So you can start contracting that muscle. As you do that, squeeze. Feel those muscles tighten up. Out. Muscles really working. It's like your foot weighs a ton. Back in. And down one more time. Shoulder blades back, chest out. It's so easy to lose form. Up, in, and down. From there, we grab the back of the chair or the seat or the back. Shoulder blades are back, same thing. Roll the shoulder blades. Pick up the leg, Keep the shoulders back. Pull on the back of that chair to keep the shoulder blades back. Out, in, and down. As you do this, make sure the knee, ankle, toe are always in alignment with the hip. Stand that same side. Out, in, and down. Again, you're not picking that foot up very high, but you're feeling the hip flexors. You're working those hip flexors to lift that leg. These are the muscles we use to walk, to lift the leg up. In and down. So what you can add to that is when you get to the top, holding onto the chair, toe back, stretch out that calf muscle, those calf muscles, bring it in and down. Other side. Before you start, find your neutral position, shoulders back, ears, shoulders, hips in alignment. Grab onto the back of the chair, leg up, leg out, in and down. Take your time with this. I see a lot just kicking out and bringing it back again. We're doing separate moves. Heel comes up first, ball of the foot, just like you're walking. Then extending the leg, just like you're walking. Because what you would do normally, if you were walking, is hit the heel right here, but you're stopping, bring it in and down. And again, you can add that toe in if you want. Up, bring the toe back. You're working the muscles in the front, in the shin, and back down one more time. Up, plus you're stretching out the calf muscles. Back, and down. So the next place you can go with that, once you get strong enough, shoulder blades back, chest is out. Hands wherever you want to put them on the thighs. And it's just up, out, in, and down. So this will work the lower part of the back, but you got to be careful. If the shoulders come forward at all, you're putting all your stress in the lower back, hitting that lower lumbar, causing it all sorts of pain, working those muscles in directions they're not supposed to go. So it's up, out, in, and down. And really concentrate on bringing that heel up first, and then the toe, out, in, toe, heel. So I really want you to focus on that, because that is the walking gait. That's how you should be walking. And when you just plop your foot down, if you just pick it up, kick it out, bring it back, and just push the whole foot down at one time, you're not working the muscles the way you need to for walking. It's out, in, ball of the foot, heel. Other side, we're marching. We are marching to Pretoria. Out, in, and down. One more time each side. Make sure the shoulder blades are back. If you can't keep the shoulder blades back, if you lift that leg and your shoulders come forward and you hunch forward, grab onto the back of the chair. You want to work these hip flexors without hurting the back. Always protecting the spine. Up, other side, and back in. Heel raises. I love these standing, but I like these seated as well, because what you're working on here is just getting that heel up, but also making sure the ball of the foot is on the floor, inside to out. Again, you want the feet to be flat. That's where all your surface area is. So you bring that heel up. When you walk, this is just one step of walking. You come right straight up. If you come out, a lot of times we roll out to the side on this one, over that little toe. The leg has a tendency to go out. The other thing, the knee angle, you notice that? That's all sorts of stress on this inside of the knee because you're crimping that side. So you want to just pick up the heels, concentrating on ball of the foot. Feel the muscles working in the back of the legs. Yeah, heels up. The weight is in the ball of the foot, not in the toes. Toes are on the floor, but that's it. Because when you're standing, you're going to need them for balance. Right now, you don't because you're seated. And back down. Should start feeling that in the back of the legs, like it wants to cramp up. That's where you want to be. Right before it does, drop it back down. Back up. So when you feel that those muscles tightening up like that, that's when they're starting to break down. That's what gives us our strength. Once the muscles break down, they rebuild. When they rebuild stronger. Like the $6 million man. Up. We can rebuild them. We have the technology. And back down. Make sure you're getting protein. That's so important. Don't stop eating meat. and back down, up, hold, and back down. Unless you're vegan or vegetarian and you don't go with the meat thing, that's fine. Make sure that you're getting your protein. However you're supplementing those things, make sure that you're getting the protein. All right, what are we going to do next? Not sure. Oh, I do. I know. Leg out, hand behind the thigh, shoulder blades are back. We're going to rotate the foot out and in. So what we're doing here is we're working two things. We're working the hip to get it to move, opening it up because hip flexibility is non-existent for some people, around and back, or it's limited, so we want to work a little bit at a time. And when you're doing this, this is moving the whole leg. So it's out and back, out and back. The whole knee follows the toe, both directions, so that you can feel the muscles working. You're also working the muscles in the outside of the hip and the inner thigh to make that rotation happen. In and back out, in and back out. Set that down. You should feel that outside of the hip, right over here and right down the inside. Other leg, bring it up. Shoulder blades are back. Find your neutral. Out and rotate, and the other way. Check the shoulders, make sure they're still back. Knee should have a bend in it. It shouldn't be locked out. Down. Knee and toe always follow. Same direction all the way through this so we can get that movement in the hip socket, where the bone from the leg goes into the hip. So we're shooting for here, getting all those muscles around it to stretch, get a little flexibility in there, make them stronger, over and back, get some fluid flowing through those hip joints, take some of the pain away if you've got that. More flexibility you've got in there, the less it's going to hurt. Back and over, and finish it up, bring it in, and back down again. Ankles. Ankles are so important. So going back to that other leg, rotate. Again, ankles are your base. Every joint stacks on top of that foot, and the ankle is the first joint. If this joint can't move, or if it is not in the right area, in the right place, when it sets, all the other joints are going to be out of alignment because everything else has to compensate because your body is not stacked. Opposite direction and around. This helps you be able to move the foot, to be able to feel the ground underneath the foot. Proprioception, knowing where you are in space, being able to feel the bottom or the ground underneath the foot so that you know what's going on. And the brain knows how to lift, how to adjust you accordingly. Other side, this is a great exercise if you aren't able to walk on grass because you're afraid of the terrain, the uneven spots. You need to have good ankle flexibility to adjust for that. And other direction. Lots of good circles there. And bring it in. We're standing, but get a drink of water. Let's do a sit to stand first, though. Bring your butt out to the edge of the chair. Wherever you want your hands, pushing on the thighs, out front. This is the most challenging one right here. Leaning forward, keeping the shoulders back and straight, pushing up through the heels to standing. When you stand, always make sure, if you feel any dizziness at all, stop. Stop when you get to the top, just for a second. Check it, make sure you're okay, and then start walking. Too often, we stand up and we're a little dizzy, and then we try to shake it off as we're walking. Don't do that. Take your time. It's important. And it's hard to unlearn moving constantly, quickly, all the time. That's hard to unlearn. The brain wants to do it automatically. The body wants to go. You have to consciously tell yourself, hold on. It's a cognitive thing you have to work on. Eventually it becomes part of the routine, but you're setting the pace for now because as you get older, it's going to get harder. And you've already created that little lag time to give you time to think. Brain moves before the body moves. All right, we're going to grab the chair. We're going to grab the chair. Grab it. Feet out at a diagonal. butt back. So this one, you're really concentrating on just the butt back. Roll the hips forward. So you got that butt back there. Roll forward. Make those hips be parallel with the floor, and then push right straight up through the heels of the feet. Coming up, you should feel the muscles working on the inner thighs. Muscles we don't hit enough. They get weak and they get tight, and we need to use them. Butt straight back, knees stay over the ankles, roll the hips underneath, and push right straight up. Feet are flat on the floor, ball the foot to the heel, grounded. Down again. And roll the hips and push up. Use that chair. Use that chair so you don't feel like you're going to fall. You can put your weight into that as long as you're just kicking that butt out as far as you can get it. Feel the stretch in the back of the thighs. Roll the hips underneath and push right straight up, feet flat on the floor. Glutes get squeezed at the very top of it too. That becomes a piece of this. One more time. Down. Roll underneath. Push up. That wasn't bad. Man, I can feel it though. Hip abduction. I don't know that I'm ready for this. I'm going to bring that leg out to the side. Toe forward. Torso upright. So it is. You're lining up over that stationary leg, picking the foot up, leading with the heel, toe forward, and back in again. Tighten the muscles up in the hip and the butt as you come out. If you can't feel it, roll the shoulder blades back a little more. Get the heel back a little more. If you come back, rolling the shoulder blades back, tighten everything up, you're going to feel it in here. You can do this and never work the muscles that you need to work the way you need to work them. You can just bring the leg out to the side and it's all sorts of fun and games, but we're not getting anything accomplished. It's all fun and games till somebody gets hurt, till somebody falls. Bring it up, feel those muscles working, and back down. We want them to engage. We want to feel that engagement because that's when we've got them tight. That's when we're starting to break down that muscle to build it back up again. Why don't you build me a buttercup, baby? Up. Just not being able to sing doesn't stop me from singing. I sing anyway. Toe forward. Leg out to the side. Don't lean. I'm really starting to feel it now. First couple, no. Now I do. Other hip, big time. And in one more time. Up. Hold. And back in. So this other hip is working the whole time to keep you over that leg. So it's tightening up, bringing you in. So this side is under contraction constantly through this exercise. So you'll feel it probably more on the opposite side than you will inside you're moving. Okay, shoulders are back, toes forward, other leg out, and back in. I forgot this. Stationary leg, micro bend, little bend in the knee. Up, soft knees. Don't lock it out. Again, joints are not made to handle all your weight. Up, not one joint in particular, and especially when you've got it hyperextended. So you want to make sure, little bend, and the muscles are doing the work around the joint so that they can work together. Synergy between the muscles in the leg and the knee. Strengthens it up, out to the side, toe forward, feel that muscle working on the outside of the hip. Bring that other hip in. Up, squeeze, and down. There. And you got it. Right here. Should be tired. Should be. Hamstrings. These are all our mobility muscles that we're working here. Hips. We want to keep those hips straight when we walk. Otherwise, we have this tendency to pop back and forth, throwing every joint out of alignment all the way down. So we want them to be strong, holding ourselves straight. Bring the leg back. We're going to take the toe, bring it in, relax it, leg back down, and set it down. Again, that opposite hip's doing all the work to hold you up. Up, knee back, heel up as high as you can get it, wherever that is. When you stop and it says, it won't go any farther, one last squeeze, and then back down again. You will get that last squeeze. You'll feel those muscles really contract with that one little squeeze. That increases that exercise, the effectiveness of it so much. So much. Up. working that hamstring, lifting that lower leg up, and then relaxing it. These muscles, they tighten up, they shorten because you contract them, bringing that lower leg up. And back down. You may feel this in the lower part of the butt as well, those lower glutes. Up and back down, taking your time like this. Up, squeeze, hold, and relax back down. Other side. Ready? Soft knee on that stationary leg, got a little bend in it. Foot is flat on the floor, inside to outside, front to back. Always have full surface contact. Up and back down. Squeeze it. Just that little extra, just that one little squeeze. You can feel how effective it is. That muscle really tightens up, like it wants to cramp up when you get up there. Up and back down. That's getting that muscle point of burning. It's so easy to do, to get that little bit there. And back down. You don't need weights. All you need to do is push that muscle just a little bit more. And back down. Tap it a couple more times. Up and back down. Last one. Squeeze. And release. Curtsy lunge. Get out to the side of your chair. Leg up and around and back. Just start with that. So kind of like we did with the 7 o'clock, but you're taking right leg, turning it. Knee goes to the outside and back. Front leg, knee stays over the ankle. Don't let yourself pop out to the side where the knee is way off to one side. Keep it above. Keep that joint in alignment at all times. Back. And when I say at all times, that back leg, when you bring it around, the knee and the toe are in alignment. How do I show this one? It's really hard. Around and back. So what you start doing here is you bring that foot around, drop in between the legs, roll the hip. Here's where the work is. Push up through that front leg, foot flat on the floor, and then bring that other foot back in again. So it's back and around, down. Hold on to the chair to keep your shoulder blades back so you're not leaning into this. Push up on the chair and bring it back. But when you come back, make sure that you're using that front leg to do most of the work. Don't push on the chair to get you back. Leg muscles up and back. With rotation, working the core. Obliques up and around. Take your time with this. It's a slow move. Up, back, down. Push back up through that front heel. And when I say heel, I mean the back half of the foot. So from about arch back is going to feel most of the pressure on this because you're hitting into those muscles, those big muscles in the back chain of the leg. And up. Other side. Other side, back. And up and rotate. Make sure the toe is forward. So I started out with my foot at an angle, which made that rotation easier. I wasn't getting the muscles that I wanted to. Up and around, knee over the ankle, foot is forward. There we go. Push up. I love having a monitor here so I can see what I'm doing wrong. Around, drop down just a little bit. So as you come around, drop on the ball of the foot. Bring that heel closer to the floor as you go right straight down the middle. Push up through that heel and leg around. A couple more times. Down, roll, and push. One more. If you can get down a little deeper, go for it. Push that front leg, and you are back. Want to try something a little harder? A little more fun? Go off to the side of the chair again. First thing we're going to do, just lift the leg behind you and let it go back down again. A little bend in the knee. Straight back, not at an angle. Toe doesn't point out. Everything's in alignment. Toe, heel, knee, hip, and back down again. With this, holding on to the chair, make sure that. Arm down, little bend in that front knee, Leg goes back as far as you can get it. Arm as far forward as you can get it. And back. This may not be a big move for you. This may be right here where you've got foot back, you've got the arm forward at a diagonal. That's perfect. Feel the work in the other leg. Plus, what you're teaching your brain here is what it's like to lose your balance, going forward, and then bringing it all back again to standing. Instead of just following the weight shift, the momentum forward onto your nose and your head, the brain has to figure out to bring you back. You're teaching it that. We're hardwiring the brain to know what to do when you trip. You don't have time to think about it usually. Arm out, leg out, and bring it back in. Little bend in that stationary foot. You got the ball of the foot to the heel on the floor, inside to out. Surface contact is really important on this one. Out and in. You want those muscles to work hard around the ankle, up the leg, to hold the knees straight over the ankle and the ankle flat on the floor. Other side. You should really feel it in the glutes on this one, on the stationary side as well. So out and back in again. Don't let the hip flip out. Don't let it go out to the side as you're going down, or that back leg go at an angle. It's right straight back. Everything stays in alignment, fingertips to toes. And back up again. Hip hinge down. Use that chair so you don't twist. And nice and slow back up again. 2 more. Out. And back in. Last one. Stretch it out. Hold it. And bring it back in again. One more. Inner thighs. Side of the chair. We're going to take that leg out and bring it in across the other foot. Lift it up so you can get across and back. Across over the other foot. If you step, you're going to step on the ankle, heels touching the ankle. You want to get that up high enough that you can lift that foot over, tap it, up, and back. Don't do this. Don't drop that hip out to touch the foot out farther. Keep yourself in line. That's going to keep strengthening these hips all the way through. Up, inner thighs working to pull that leg out. Relax it. In, again, inner thighs. Those muscles on the inner thigh do not get worked enough. They do not stay strong. They get weak. And that's where the outside, those hips start to move a lot because you don't have the strength to hold them in place. Out and in. The other thing is they get tight. And if you see people walking with the toe out to the outside, it's because that muscle on the inner thigh is so tight, it doesn't allow it. It's not the toe running out. It is the heel staying in. Over and back. One more time. And bring it back. Other side. Last one. Promise. Over. We never did get to weights. That's okay. That's okay. We can do that Wednesday. Over and back. Inner thigh. Foot over the toe. What you're doing, working the hip flexor so that you can pick that leg up, working the shin, picking that leg up over. So if you do trip, automatically that foot will go over instead of getting caught on the other one and just hitting the side of it and you go flying over. You can go up, tap it on the side. You're right here instead of way out to the side. Right over the middle. Up. Toes don't touch. Feet don't touch. So many times people say, oh, my feet got tangled up. It's because we're not able to pick the leg up as high as we could in the past. That's why they didn't get tangled up earlier. Doesn't have to be. Age does not necessitate falling at all. There's no reason for it. Over and back. Over. Bring it back. Grab a drink of water. Go ahead. Sit down. We're going to stretch those legs out. So I'm glad today we didn't get to the weights for the upper body, but that's okay because we really got a good workout for everything from the hips down to the ankles, which is so important. This is ageless balance. It's about balance. That's the most important thing. So we get a nice workout, inner thigh, outer thigh, hamstrings, quadriceps, calf muscles, shins, ankles. All right, legs apart, feet out, 210. Hands on the thighs, shoulder blades back. You're going to drop right down between, keeping the shoulder blades back while you've got the hands on the thighs. So you keep the shoulder blade back, chest out. Come on down, feel it on the inner thighs. Most important on this one, you cheat it if the knees come in and you come down. Knees have to stay over the ankles so that you can feel that inner thigh stretch as you come down. Hold them out there. You may not be able to go down very far. That's okay, as long as you're feeling these muscles through the groin, through the inner thighs, stretching out. It's what you're looking for. Push. Push on the thighs, rolling the shoulder blades back to come back up again. Foot out, leg out, leg out, leg out. Toe back, bend in the knee, stretching calf muscles below the knee to the heel. Do what you have to do to get those muscles to engage. Toe back as far as you can get it. Adjust that knee a little bit. Keep the shoulders back. Spine is in neutral position. And do what you have to until you can feel those muscles working all the way from the back of the heel up into below the knee. Up to below the knee. That's baloney. And that was good. Out. Hip hinge, shoulder blades back. Hamstrings. We work those like crazy. We have to stretch them. Again, move the knee around, move the toe. Shoulder blades back, lean into it a little more, a little less. Don't overstretch it. But you want these muscles from the lower butt all the way to above the knee. Not below knee. Up above knee. And bring it back up again. You should be doing these stretches every day. Seriously, these are super important. These muscles impact so much, especially these hamstrings getting tight. They put so much pressure on that lower back, and they cause the hips to move a lot. If you don't keep them lengthened out, you lose your neutral posture because those are so tight. You're leaning forward with the shoulders down. So these stretches every day, 2 times, 45 seconds each. 3 if you want. And the reason we look at that is when the muscles are stretched, let the toe go, and we're going to go for the back of the thigh again. Muscles stretch. 2 things happen. First time you stretch, it breaks down the fascia. That holds that muscle tight. That prevents it from stretching. You break that down on the first stretch, and then you come out of it. You go into the second stretch. That's when you work the muscle. And remember, the muscle's always fighting you, trying to pull it back again, so you don't want to go too far. You will not win when you're fighting your body. And back up again. All right. Oh, we're out of time. Grab underneath and bring the arms up, shoulders back, chest out. Deep breath in through the nose, pushing the stomach out. Exhale as you bring the arms down again, laying on top of the thighs. Force all the air out of the lungs so you can get a full lung full of fresh air. And inhale. Through the nose, which forces it into the lungs deeper. Stomach out, gets the diaphragm out of the way, feeling the lower lungs expand. And exhale, bringing the arms down. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I appreciate it. We're going to do upper body on Wednesday because we didn't do it today. So thank you.